sphere.
I'm a footstool guy. I think the Earth is a footstool.
Well, it says it's got
footstool. It's his footstool.
It says it, bro. Hey friends, this is Tanner Cartwright. I'm here with Dorris. We are here with Snake on the table. What's our snake?
Brother, is the Earth flat?
Well, I mean, we're not rolling right now.
Did you had a devastating answer to that in the affirmative? Explain it if it's
Put
not.
a level on the ground, bro.
You put a level. He had taken a little bubble level and just set it on the ground, and it was perfectly level. I mean, game over.
End of argument.
Game over.
End of argument.
You can do that with a 4-foot level too.
Yeah, well, that post, I lost a little bit of faith in humanity on that post. We have an IQ crisis in this country. But anyway, so
wait a minute.
People on both sides of the issue
just didn't get you here.
Thinking that I was actually, some people were like trying to explain to me the difference in level and flat.
Yeah.
And it was just, I was like, oh my stars.
Yeah, people they can't get it.
Yeah, it was.
All right, before you say a word, because we are in agreement that the Earth is not flat. We live on rolling sphere.
We're in Kentucky. Obviously, there's rolling hills. It's not flat.
We're on the northern hemisphere.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we breathe in the atmosphere.
But I want to say something, because I really mean this. I do believe that flat Earth is a third-tier issue.
Sure.
That a flat earther can be in our church, can be in Reformation Church, and we're going to love them just as much as somebody who has, they hold to certain eschatology. Dude, you're back.
It's okay. It's okay.
He's been rolling around underneath a truck doing some welding here and came to record today in major pain.
Can you smell the burnt flesh? I can still smell where I burnt myself.
Dude, fortunately, I cannot smell that. But, so I think it's a third-tier issue. And I think flat earthers need to lighten up. They need to be able to give and get.
Yeah.
Most of them can't give and get.
Yeah.
They come into a church and they have a sense of these are not my people.
Sure.
Because flat earthers, there is a people. There's a group. They have more camaraderie. They have more camaraderie around a third-tier issue than they do around the centrality of the gospel.
Yeah.
And that's upsetting.
That's a problem.
What ends up happening with flat earthers is they find their people online, and they then go to home church in its isolation, and they've allowed a third-tier issue to affect their submission to the local church.
Or here's what they'll do. They will act very upset that you will be willing to make jokes about it, or that you would be willing to argue against it and act like it's a ridiculous argument. But the problem is that they act like you're insulting them. Yeah. This happened to me a while back. It's like, no, the problem is, do you not see how you are insulting the rest of us by acting like we're just blind sheeple?
Yeah.
And so it's like, I'm okay with you believing that, but if I give the counter, don't be offended by it.
Just find, I love you. Flat earthers are the most thin-skinned people I have met. They really are. They just blow everything. They don't joke about it and say, well, I think this and that, and well, you believe this and blah. And they don't give in. So we do this about dispensationalism. I love dispensationalists. I disagree with them. We can be in the same fellowship and have a different understanding of those kind of things.
Sure.
And I should be able to poke fun at your position, and you'll poke fun at me, for my position.
Men having long hair.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to say another one. Head coverings. That's a big one.
Yeah.
It's a third-tier issue. It should be a third-tier issue. I get it. There are churches that have predominantly no head covering and have some head covering.
Yeah.
Guys, knock it off. Stop elevating these things to make people feel like they cannot be in the same church together.
We have both head covering and non-head covering at Ref, and it has never been an issue.
It's not an issue.
And it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And so, which I think it's probably helpful that we have elders on both sides of this issue.
Sure.
As far as the head covering. So, but yeah, so flat Earth, lighten up. It's part of the problem with the people that believe the Earth is flat. And it's like, I'm kind of convinced if they would lighten up about it, they would realize it's not flat, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're that uptight about it because if they give any, they're gonna. And I get it. I do believe it's a third tier issue because they have arguments that they find compelling. I don't find them compelling. I spent a whole day watching videos, listening to guys, the Flat Earth Dave and all these guys. And some of them have some arguments that, can make sense on the surface. You've got the canal that the guy got down in and could see longer than he should have been able to see, and people find those kind of arguments compelling.
Yeah.
But then you've got the guys that are getting on airplanes with levels. This is a real thing.
I know.
I watched a whole video of flat Earth people getting on airplanes and taking levels and showing that the plane is staying level.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
I cannot handle that. I struggle with that.
Let's dive into the evidence here in a second, but I also there's the Christian flat earther.
Yeah.
Because I think there are non-Christian flat earthers.
There are.
There's quite a few.
Flat Earth Dave is not a Christian.
Yeah. The Christian flat earthers that are compelled by the text.
Yes.
I love them because of their commitment to say, I'm going to believe the scriptures no matter what anybody says.
And that's commendable.
I think that is a commendable quality. I think it's misguided, but I think it's a commendable quality. So we have flat earth Christians that we know and have come to our church. Some of them, for the comfort issues, have said we can't be here. Because of posts you've made or because things that we've said, why
are you pointing at me?
Because you're the guy. But I just want to say to them that I do appreciate you and that stance. But here's on that side of things, I think that it's just a lack of understanding of biblical hermeneutics.
It is.
It comes down to hermeneutics.
Every passage that a flat Earth or person that believes the Earth is flat uses to argue for it, they have to twist it, jerk it out of context, kicking and screaming, and really twist that scripture to make it work.
Or not twist it necessarily, but just believe it from just such a literal standpoint, selectively.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's, we talk about four corners of the earth, circle over the earth, that kind of stuff. They look at those and they take them from a literal standpoint and not from an anthropomorphic standpoint or from a man-centric standpoint and looking at things. So I want to commend Austin Keeler, one of our elders at
100%.
Ref Church, the Holy Nope. What he's doing is just taking specific passages and then exegeting them properly.
Yes. Yep.
And then when you exegete them, you go, okay, that doesn't fit. Why?
The four pillars of the earth doesn't mean that the earth is like this table on four legs. That's not the point of the passage.
Even those, they have to synthesize that with flat earth models that are coming from non-Christians that talk about a disc that's, all that kind of stuff.
Well, I haven't even met even the Christians. I haven't met any of them that actually believe it's a square.
I'm a footstool guy. I think that the Earth is a footstool.
Well, it says it's God's footstool.
It's his footstool.
It says it, bro.
Yeah, but that's not a mocking statement.
Yeah.
But what does that mean?
Yeah.
That means that it's under his authority.
Well, then they take passages like the sun rising or when the sun stopped in the sky with Joshua.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it says the sun stopped.
Yeah.
So why would it say that if the earth actually stopped?
Yeah.
And so, anyway, I think that's ridiculous.
That's a hermeneutic.
From a hermeneutical standpoint, I think it's ridiculous.
And just so we understand, those are from the perspective of the writer.
Yes.
It's not God's perspective on how things are actually happening.
Exactly. From our perspective, it did stop.
Yeah. So you had there was scientifically or just different things. You said you watched a ton of videos.
Yeah, so Jason Lisle, I highly recommend Jason Lisle to everybody. There's a couple of other guys that are pretty good but not Christian. Here's my problem. Most of the guys that deal with flat earth do it in a mocking way, and I don't think it's helpful.
Yeah, I agree.
Like everything, like every other word is just mockery and talking about how butt stupid these people are and all. And it's just I don't like that.
That's probably why they're not being watched by the people that need to see them.
Exactly. Jason Lisle is respectful, but the guy is it's really clear. But there's so many things, just from the standpoint of the way that it makes me think because of the ships on your cup there. The naval navigation for hundreds of years. Nautical navigation. I mean, it has been from the stars. They have used the stars and have recognized that you have to. It's different in the southern and northern hemisphere. Why? If you go below the equator, you can't see the North Star. The moon, if you take a picture of it from Australia, it's upside down from our moon, from the way we see it here in the northern hemisphere. It's literally upside down, just like it would be if you were standing on the bottom of a globe taking a picture. Everything's upside down. And so none of that makes...
In fairness on that one, that's the same. If you and I were to look at a light right now and you look from that side and I look from this side, it would look different from our different perspectives on a flat surface. That's actually the weakest one that I've heard.
Well, but it wouldn't be exactly the same just upside down because we only see one side of the moon. So how do you explain seeing one side of the moon as a flat earther? Only ever seeing one side doesn't make any sense. Right. But anyway, so you've got one of the arguments is that the sun is not going over the horizon, it's just getting further away. Well, even the models that they use to do that, they admit that the camera has to be just below the surface of the table in order to make a quarter do that. So a camera, if it actually is up where your vision is, it doesn't disappear.
Yeah,
that's their for like the sun going over the ocean. They argue it's just getting further away. It's not going over the ocean. And so they have their arguments, and they take cheap cameras and they zoom in, and it makes it look like there is still a sun. It's still there. It's just further away. And the arguments just do not hold water. And so they have these things that they're convinced by, and I think that people that are convinced by flat Earth should look up someone like Jason Lisle and actually objectively look at it and think about it. He's got some good ones on, proof that we went to the moon, just different things like that, because flat earthers are never just flat earthers.
Yeah.
It's always, we didn't go to the moon, or, history is only...
that was my next thing to go to. It's not just flat Earth. It's never just flat Earth.
Never
just flat Earth. It's mud floods.
Yep.
Yeah, you didn't even know what mud floods are.
I've heard you mention it.
The Great Reset that's happened, and that there were prior civilizations was here, and the buildings that have been created were discovered. When it says they're founded, that means they were found here a couple hundred years ago. And so, yeah, I enjoy a good conspiracy. I love watching these videos. I think it's
okay. So here's the difficulty. On most things, people would call me a conspiracy theorist. Like I'm fine.
You're
with
crazy is just a little less crazy.
I'm just a little less crazy, but
because you definitely question the narrative.
Dude, I'm with you. Like Building 7. Like, what about Building 7?
Them birds, man. They sure do look like.
I've never met anyone, the bird people. I've never met
Really?
the bird people.
Really?
But anyway, I don't know if that's a real thing or not. But in order to be a flat earther, you have to believe that not only is the government in this big cabal, but they have been for literally, the Greeks knew the earth was round at 500 BC.
Yeah.
So, like, how long, like, it would literally be the biggest, most long-standing conspiracy, like, ever.
Yeah.
And it's not just, you have to believe that not only your government's lying to you, but every other government.
And beyond that, there are Christians that are in those places of authority. There are Christians that are stationed in Antarctica.
Yes.
There are in different places. So you're going to have to say that these that name the name of Christ are lying to you.
And why
as well.
Antarctica is important, in case anyone's wondering, is that in Antarctica, there's a 24-hour sun.
Yeah.
Which is impossible in the flat Earth model.
Right.
They cannot make it work.
Yeah.
And many of them have admitted if there's a 24-hour sun, then the flat Earth, the whole theory is bogus. So they have to argue that everyone who's ever filmed it is lying, that they are, this CGI, they're just making it up. They have to, like I said, you can literally go back. How were these guys sailing 200 years ago? By the stars? It was all based on the earth being round. So how are they getting anywhere successfully? Mm-hmm. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
And so they have to believe that all airplane, like I've talked to this guy, I've talked to the guy that believes that every airplane window is made to make the earth look spherical.
Yeah.
Every one of them. So they believe that, everyone who's ever gone to the space station is lying.
Yeah.
Or all the windows are just CGI screens
Or
feeding them images.
all the employees at NASA are part of this great conspiracy.
Well, and this is my biggest problem. Whenever I encounter a conspiracy theory, my first question is always why.
Why are they doing this?
Why? So I had a guy telling me, the chemtrails from planes and
Wait a minute, you don't believe in that?
Well, I believe there is exhaust from airplanes.
That's not exhaust.
It's exhaust.
No,
anyway,
it's cutting of. Isn't it cutting of?
No. It's the exhaust, brother.
Not exhaust. Stop
exhaust.
it. All right, we're gonna do an episode on chemtrails.
So regardless, he was convinced that chemtrails, that they were literally that's what killed all the ash trees.
Yeah.
So several years ago, all the ash trees died everywhere because of a bug. But this guy believed that it was from the chemtrails, and it killed all the trees, and the government did it. The government killed all the ash trees, and I was sitting there. I still remember where I was sitting, and I was like, why'd they do that? And he looked at me like I had 3 heads, and he had no answer.
Well, it's population control.
For the ash trees?
No, not the ash trees, but just that.
So he believed they were poisoning the ash trees. Why are they poisoning the ash
fine.
trees? Why? And so that's one of my problems with the flat earth thing is why are they trying to convince you the earth is round? Why? If it's flat, why? Mm-hmm. And there is no good answer for that. I will go out on a limb and just say that. There is no good answer for that. I haven't heard one. And so I guess a Christian would say, well, they're trying to disprove the Bible, a Christian flat earther. But why is it worth that? Why the biggest conspiracy that could ever be, where you have to believe that people like Elon Musk, all the people that work for him, the private industry, not just government, private industry that are putting up satellites and going up in spaceships and all of the things, trying to go to Mars, which they don't believe is whatever, but that they're all in on it.
Yeah.
There would be more people. The amount of people in on it is it is impossible that's a thing.
I agree with that. Let's go back to chemtrails because you're wrong.
Oh no. So
it's contrails, and what that is, it's the line-shaped clouds that form behind aircraft engines when hot, humid engine exhaust mixes with the cold air.
So the exhaust mixes with the cold air.
But it's not like exhaust coming out like smoke or something like that.
No, it freezes up there.
Yeah, it just changes that dry air and cold air stuff. This is
literally what I
cuts it through that. No, it's not like trailing exhaust.
No, but
you're not seeing exhaust. You're seeing a reaction that's happening.
Sure, but it's because of the exhaust coming out of the airplane.
Let's arm wrestle right now.
I can't. I'm back.
I know. That's why I want to arm wrestle you. All right. So this probably isn't the episode that people were thinking it would be in terms of we're going through all of the different proofs, and we're going to do that. I want to commend Austin for a scriptural standpoint.
Yep.
We're commending Jason Lisle for that.
Because he's a Christian, good brother.
Is Answers in Genesis also working through that?
He does. Jason Lisle does work for and with Answers in Genesis, but there is another guy that does a lot of writing. I cannot remember his name. For Answers, he's written a lot of articles. He's done debates.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but I highly recommend Answers in Genesis for this topic.
Right.
But to go back to your original point, flat Earth is a third-tier issue, and if you believe that, I will call you a brother.
Yep.
That's not a reason to say that you're not a brother or that you're an idiot or you're low IQ or anything like that. But at the same time, you need to grow a little bit thicker skin.
100%.
Because I need to be able to make jokes about it.
Yeah.
Just frankly. And here's the thing. I am not going to be offended if they're making memes and jokes about round earthers, ball earthers, or whatever. Ball earthers. So spherical.
We do this all the time. I think it was one of the first episodes that we did. We just joke.
Yeah.
We go back and forth. We go hard. So I'm going to go hard on somebody about head coverings or something like that. With TJ, we love to get him riled up about it by saying something a little off, because I know that he's just gonna like pull out his and he's gonna have an answer to that. But that's just how it is.
This is just how it is.
People are gonna poke fun at me at different things,
and we should.
Yeah,
and we should be willing to poke fun at each other and still be okay.
And we're still brothers in the same church and still okay with each other.
Yeah, and if you're a flat earther, frankly, and I mean this genuinely, I would love for you to reach out to us. I would love to have a phone call with someone that is a fully bought in flat earther. I've asked for people to do it before, and I've never had anybody do it. But I want to get on the phone with somebody and just go through it and have them.
Austin may have somebody. He had a 1689 pastor, flat earther, show up in his comments and blasting him.
I'd love to sit down with one of these guys, have coffee, something, not to mock, not to anything. Literally, I want to hear how they got.
Convince me.
Well, yeah, tell me.
Convince me. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the meme? Tell me, convince me I'm wrong or whatever. But the who was it used to do that? The Louder with Crowder maybe or whatever. But regardless, I want that. I'll be willing to have this conversation. Change my mind. Thank you. Yeah. Louder with Crowder. So anyway, please, if you're a flat earther, I encourage you, reach out to us. I'd love to talk to you.
Okay. All right. If you got a question for us, sinkonthetable@gmail.com. Love to bring it on here, and especially if you want to throw something out here, like your convincing evidence for flat Earth, we'll do a part 1, 2, 3, 7. Let's do something.
Yeah, give us some stuff. Give us some questions. We'll deal with the individual stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that.
Let's do it.
All right. Take care.